8:09 and now on AM Extra. 1 in 8 Oregonians don't know where their next meal is coming from. And for kids, that number is 1 in 6. The hunger crisis is not slowing down, and local nonprofits helping feed our neighbors need our help more than ever before.
This morning, we're shining a spotlight on one of those organizations and talking about just how easy it can be to make a difference. Kyle Camberg is the executive director of the Sunshine Division. He joins us now. Good morning.
Morning.
Good to see you. Well, we've had Sunshine Division on the show many times. I know we often talk to you around the holidays, but for folks who may be unfamiliar, tell us a little bit about the Sunshine Division and the mission of the organization.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time together Thanksgiving, Christmas time, and we're really known for that. 102 years ago, that's what started Sunshine Division, just a few blocks from here. City officials, Portland Police, home delivering food around the Christmas holiday, just in Goose Hollow, just up Jefferson from here. But what people don't realize is, hunger isn't seasonal. We're open 52 weeks a year. We have a food pantry. We have a home delivery program that now launched at the start of the pandemic. I remember talking to you about that about 5 years ago exactly. Yeah. We've delivered over 130,000 doorsteps since then. And so the unfortunate thing is we just keep seeing the need rise. We used to see a little bit of a lull this time of year. And then we always see a spike around the time school gets out because a lot of kids rely on school for their meals and lunches and different programs. And now really hunger is year round, and it's really become just a critical issue that affects every part of our state.
Yeah, well, in that intro there, we talked about, this is once again kind of an unprecedented need, but I kind of want to say, we've talked to you for the last 5 years since the pandemic and said, hey, this is unprecedented, this is unprecedented. Well, it's becoming the norm, right? We are constantly seeing this need grow. At the time the pandemic was the challenge, but there are other challenges you're now facing. Thankfully, you don't have federal funding. You're not reliant on federal funding, but cuts are coming to other food banks across the country, and you are affected by that.
Correct. Fortunately, just how Sunshine Division was started, we are super grassroots, we're hyper local. Folks just like us, about 4,000 people volunteer throughout the year. Hundreds of people host food drives, and we're 100% donor supported. So that's, everyday people like you and I sending in a $50 check or what have you, or rounding up at the grocery store, all of those things. So those federal cuts aren't going to directly hurt Sunshine Division's bottom line, but what we're already seeing is, because there's been, if folks at home that don't know, a USDA cut, so bulk food that is being distributed around the country has already been cut significantly, and there's going to be a massive trickle-down effect because, simply put, if food banks and food pantries and churches and schools have 20 or 30% less food, they're going to distribute less, 20 or 30% less. The other part is right now, federally, they're talking about cuts to SNAP. Nearly 800,000 Oregonians rely on SNAP benefits of some level. They're talking about a 20% cut. And so if you factor USDA cuts, potential SNAP cuts, and then we're also all watching, inflation really closely again. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the past 5 years, about every 6 months, we've had a different crisis that tremendously affects working families, senior citizens, people on fixed incomes, the people that Sunshine Division serves, the people that most food pantries serve. So if you're in Portland, places like Sunshine Division, if you're at the coast, your local food pantry, they need your help, whether that's volunteering your time, whether that's hosting a food drive or making that gift. None of these, food pantries or organizations like ours, we don't rely on these huge federal checks. We exist because normal everyday people like us give their time, give their talent, make a donation or host a food drive. So we're asking people if they can help step up because we're trying to do more now than ever before.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about volunteering your time. We're looking at some video right now of, former holiday events, packing parties. How many volunteers do you typically have supporting the organization and in what kind of roles?
Yeah, so we'll have a huge influx. We've talked about this at the holidays. I saw, the footage there. That was either Thanksgiving or the weekend prior to Christmas when we do a massive home delivery. And so, over 1,000 people volunteer for that. But what we really need are those every day, 5 days a week, year-round, where our food pantry is open. And, we have a really small, amazing staff, but that is augmented by volunteers weekly. We also do a lot of sort of packaging events and corporate groups, schools, churches come out and do that. Those are pretty popular, so it's a little easier for us to find those people, but those everyday volunteers, I guarantee whatever zip code you're in, your local food relief organization could use some help with the day-to-day. So if you've got hours to help with that, whether it's Sunshine Division or wherever you live, wherever you hear this, your local organization can use that daily help.
Sure.
And I do want to highlight too, we are in May, which means school is out here soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be tougher for kids who rely on schools for those meals to reach this food. So when you talk about the holidays, it's not just the holidays, it's year round. Very, very important as we head into the summer months. Before we let you go, Kyle, we do have the Shine Gala coming up, as well as some other volunteer opportunities. We're both very excited to be co-emceeing that event. What can people expect from the Shine Gala coming up at the end of the month?
You know, if you come out some days to our warehouse, we're in t-shirts and jeans and sweating and loading boxes, or we're out at PIR freezing and loading cars to deliver. This is the one day a year we're going to get fancy, and you're going to help us do that, and we're going to raise a lot of money because, as I mentioned before, we're 100% donor supported. So this is our big public fundraising event at the Hyatt, and it's probably once or twice a year. I'm going to throw a tie on, but you know, we're gonna show the community what it is we do, how they can be a part of it. And people that we exist because people believe in what we do. You don't last 102 years if the community doesn't believe in your mission and doesn't support you. So this is our one day a year to, as I said, get fancy. Really, it's the fundraising is the fuel for what we do.
Yeah, raise some critical money there.
And so that's what we're going to do. But, and hopefully have fun doing it. And you guys are great with the crowd, so no pressure. No pressure. You can't bore them.
It's a fun crowd.
I have to talk too, and you know that round is not easy. This is a lot easier actually. When you got your back turned to people, it's a little off-putting the first time you do it. So.
Always good to have you on the couch, Kyle. And we're looking forward to the Shine Gala. We hope you'll join us at the end of the month. If you would like to learn more about that, you can check out coin.com. And this September, you can learn more about the Sunshine Division at the Standard Volunteer Expo. For 17 years, the Standard's culture of caring and commitment to organizations making a positive difference in the community have helped connect them with thousands of new volunteers. Coin 6 and Portland CW are proud media partners of the largest volunteer expo in Oregon, hosting more than 100 local nonprofits at Pioneer Courthouse Square Thursday, September 4th. Sunshine Division will be among them, so mark your calendars and stay with AM Extra for more charity spotlights throughout the summer.